women supporting women, but please have sense in the middle of it. I'm tired of all this woke culture. You just can't, because you can't be that foolish enough to come and say that type of thing to my face. Truly, truly, a man, as in like a man, M-A-N, a provider, let me put it like that, will not allow you to split certain bills. It's cute when we're using it to do trends on TikTok and whatnot, but in real life, let's be 100% honest, it doesn't always work. You are going to fail in flying colors. Downside of modern day feminism is people not believing fact, instead believing an ideal.
On my hood, I look fly, I look good. You can't touch my back, but you could. I look fly, I look too good.
Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am Kinechi Jacob, a Lagos-based content creator. I do content around lifestyle, beauty, hair content, and occasional chit-chat content, just like we're about to do in this video. So in today's video, disclaimer, I'm going to be a hater. These are just my own personal unpopular opinions. I'm just going to give my 2 cents on certain things I see on the internet in this beautiful Gen Z generation. So I'm not going to let this video be too long. Also, if you like my hair, I have a video linked up here so you can check out how you can do something like this. Really simple, really easy, you know, playing with my short hair and whatnot. I'm also going to be doing my makeup in the process, so I don't want this video to be too long to reduce my chances of being cancelled. And yeah, let's get into it. So like I said, I'm going to be doing my makeup as well, so I'm going to be facing the mirror, and it's okay if you don't believe this. I'm just being a hater in this video, and I'm just giving my own 2 cents and my own opinion. So if you don't agree, that's fine, and if you agree or you think that, you know, it's something you've thought about but you've not actually, you know, said it out loud, which is not a bad thing, you can definitely put it in the comment section. This is definitely a safe space because we are both haters in this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is we're going in strong. We're going to be talking about the 50-50 thing that we see on the internet in relationships and whatnot.
Bombastic side eye, criminal offensive side eye.
First of all, 50-50, let me just give a breakdown. I think it's something that people in relationships kind of just discuss. And you know, as a single woman that I am, I have opinions. First of all, 50-50, I guess where it's coming from. I get how, you know, people got there and whatnot. But at the same time, realistically, realistically, in a partnership, in a marriage, I'm not married again, but in partnerships, relationships, marriage, I don't ever see that as a thing. For examples, I'm just going to be putting this in examples, is you don't wake up every day feeling you're 100% best and you are in a partnership, right? On days where you don't feel you're 100%, don't you expect the other person to kind of give you a boost up or help you in places where you are falling, basically. So this whole 50-50 thing is, I just think it's not necessarily a bad thing on a surface level, but once you now like make it go deep into like, oh, you don't want to do anything at all, please, let's be real. Let's be 100% real. This is real life. It's cute when we're using it to do trends on TikTok and whatnot, but in real life, let's be 100% honest, it doesn't always work. And also, let's even put it in the other scenario of the trad wife movement, which I don't think is a bad thing. Everybody do what works for you. But that is also a 50-50 in the sense that financially is not necessarily balanced, but you can see that somebody is taking care of the house while the other person is outside working. That is an example of 50-50, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense. So 50-50, I don't believe in the TikTok version, but there's a real life version where there is like, in this area I'm slacking, you have to pick up. In this area, this person is slacking, this person has to pick up for this person. I guess that's where 50-50 really, really applies. But in the sense where you just don't want to, in dinner dates, I'll pay half and you pay half in a romantic relationship, that does not work. That is BS. And like I was literally just saying not too long ago, literally this morning, in a relationship where a man, not a boy, a man, man, he will not allow you to split the bill. except in certain, maybe he's feeling like, okay, let me be let me allow her to do something. But really, really, a man, truly, truly a man, as in like a man, a provider, let me put it like that, will not allow you to split certain bills, if that makes sense. A woman, yes, you can say, oh, I don't want to, let me just, take on the hefty bill. But a man, in my own opinion, would not allow that. And that's just what I have to say about it. It works in certain situations, but even in that certain situations, what I call 50-50 is when in one area you're slacking, the other person has to pick up, and that when the other person is slacking, the other person picks up. That's what I call 50-50. Not that you're splitting everything evenly, but if that's what you want to do you. So moving on to my own second unpopular opinion is the Lulu is the Solulu. Remember I said this to someone one time, the person almost beat me because I was like, yeah, I'm going to be delusional. The thing is that with dealing with all this TikTok trend is that on the surface level, it's all fun and cute and whatever, but if you really dip it in real life, you can't be playing the Lulu is the Solulu. It's fun when you're doing it in certain situations, or let's just say, for example, you are on the verge of being broke, which is relative. But you're saying the Lulu is the Solulu because you want to go shopping, you want to exhaust the money because being broke is relative. Shopping extensively is also relative. Let's just say you want to be the Lulu and spend all your money on being a participant in the soft life. In that certain situation, it's not necessarily harmful, if that makes sense. It's fun, like you can do it. It's your money. If you're broke, it's your business, right? But in situations where you are now responsible for somebody else or responsible for other people, being the Lulu with your finances is not necessarily the Solulu. Especially when you're playing with your future, when there's something serious at stake. Let's say your school grades, for example. You're not reading till the last minute, till a week before exam. That's when you're picking up your books to read. And you're saying the Lulu is the Solulu. You are going to fail in flying colors. Or you're saying the Lulu is the Solulu when you are seeing the red flags and you're not walking, you are jumping straight into the red flags. Yes. Lulu is not the Solulu in that aspect. You can say, okay, you're going to just do it for the fun of it. You just want to see where it takes you. You're just playing around. My dear, you will see Shaggy at that end. And God forbid, it's not a situation that you can't easily get out of, my dear. It's not in every situation we do Lulu this way. Sometimes you have to go in with your eyes wide open, and it's fine if you don't want to, because sometimes I feel like, okay, there's a time where I was telling somebody the Lulu is a Solulu on a very base level, and this person, the thing is that I don't owe this person any explanation. Let me just reel it back in. Okay, this person was watched this video, already know, but like this person was about to get married or was already like in the senses of getting married and whatnot, and I think I was like 24 at the time, and I was saying, oh, the Lulu is the Solulu, like I'm not ready for that, I'm just playing right now. And the person was like, you people will be saying, like, quote unquote, you girls will be saying the Lulu is the Solulu until it comes to bite you in the ass. I'm like, but like, first of all, it's not your Lulu, it's my Lulu. So allow me to be Lulu in my own solution. I guess it's relative. Your own Lulu is relative, but at the same time, not every situation is relative, because if you are playing with your exams, you are going to fail. If you are playing with the red flags and you are actually thinking of like the real thing, marriage and whatnot, you're going to cry. Please, not every situation you need to be Lulu. Open your eyes as much as you can, because sometimes you can only see as far as possible. But please open your eyes. Not every situation needs you to be the Lulu. My next tip, which I am probably going to be cancelled for, hear me out. International Women's Day. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Wait.
Especially in this country where they really, let's be 100% honest, they don't take us seriously. And you know what? I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts. I said what I said way back in, like, I want to say 2021 or 2022. I mean, they were talking about this thing. I actually did not grab. I was like, maybe because I don't really pay attention to it, but really, I did not grab. But now that I'm older and I've just been in the news and seeing certain things, because tell me why this is not the first time, but most of the time is that International Women's Day or the first week of March. That's when you hear people in that Asoro, I don't even know what they're doing there. That's when they will do the most stupid things against women ever possible. If I'm not mistaken, a couple of years ago, literally on that same International Women's Day, I think there was a case, there was something that happened, there was a scandal that happened, and this year again, something similar happened again. I'm just like, and we are supposed to be celebrating International Women's Day. That's like on a bigger scale. On a more community base, we women, we are actually our own up. Let's just even put it like that. Yes, it's true, we are in a patriarchy system, and the men always find a way to one up us. But really, really, when they say women supporting women, I don't think it's a myth. I just think it's just a reminder that when it comes down to it, you should support your own woman. That's what I think. I don't think that message passes across to every single person, because I was literally watching an episode of this Nigerian commentary thing. It's called Cruise. If you're familiar with YouTube, there's a page called Jubilee. They kind of bring people together to discuss certain things. Like, I think the recent episode that I watched was the trad wife and progressive women or something like that. So like they bring maybe Democrats and Republican, or they bring Gen Z and millennials, kind of discuss and see where there's like a lap between each generation. And there's a Nigerian version of that. I think the name of the page is called Cruise. And the episode that I watched was they were bringing ex-best friends, yes, ex-best friends, and they were kind of trying to like sort out their issue on the internet, which I think is funny, but anything for content. Yeah, and there were these two ladies, and one of the things that made me rush over to YouTube to look at it was
guys have a way of spoiling relationship.
Exactly, and that is
I
the
was
problem.
gonna pick a guy over you
Which is the exact
I was
problem,
going
Lulu.
to benefit from a guy.
I was in love
More
with
than-
you. I was giving my life for you as your friend, but you will pick a boy over me. It just did not make sense to me.
I almost screamed, which really just shows the mentality of a lot of women, so to say. When it really, really, really comes down to it, they will pick a man over their best friends, or pick a man over any fellow woman, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, because if it really comes down to right or wrong, please pick the right side. I'm just saying. But if you say this person is your best of friend, I mean, with the way the whole situation was narrated from the two sides of this particular episode, it just kind of seemed like whenever this person was in a relationship, her friends go to the back end, not even the back end, like their friends, her friends are not even in sight, that kind of thing. I understand when they say women should stick together. When a man is involved, don't now relegate your friends to the back end. But at the same time, when it comes down to right or wrong, please pick the right side. And if it's that you have to tell your friend or put your friend aside to say, okay, here and here is where you are messing it up, here and here is the mistake you made, please don't. I don't understand how you would define loyalty, but I would never like come against my friend in public. I can go and tear you to pieces at the back end, but not in the middle of our up, where they are actually planning our downfall. So please, women supporting women, but please have sense in the middle of it. And yeah, International Women's Day. And it's funny because I've heard this story so many times, although I've never actually seen it happen on this International Women's Day, when they actually do all these panels and the women are speaking. First of all, why is it always repetitive, the same women that speak every single year in the same panel, every single time? It really just shows that there's a clique behind, and there's no room for people at the back to get to the front. I get the concept on a base level, but when you now really deep, people have now taken advantage of it to now almost make it like a cult type thing, especially in a place like Nigeria, where there's always a thing of nepotism. Yes, that's the word. There's always a thing of nepotism. Like, so panels where it's supposed to be actually uplifting women, why is it now a clique thing? And also, why is it just only on International Women's Day or the first 2 weeks of March that we now actually pay attention to women and their issues? Meanwhile, the rest of the year it's not a thing. I don't know. Also, when it comes to corporations as well, deep corporations, like the corporations, those ones that are run by like the older people, there's always just like they always put down women, but when it comes to International Women's Month and trying to portray themselves in a good light, that's when they remember that okay, yes, we have women. Please, let's be real. Are we actually supporting women or we are not? And we ladies ourselves, are we actually supporting ourselves or we are not? Let's really back in. Let's go back to the basics. Now, moving on, my next point to make, you guys are going to hate me. But just hear me out, especially if you know me from before, I am a feminist. But this whole feminist thing, first of all, let's even just get a grip. Let's know what being a feminist really is. So I remember a while ago, once somebody said, I keep faking to be a feminist, but at the same time, I'm always laughing and playing with boys. Well, this person did not actually come up to me to say it because obviously you just can't, because you can't be that foolish enough to come and say that type of thing to my face. But for someone to think that being a feminist does not mean, I just feel like first of all, there are two extremes. There are people that think that being a feminist is hating men. First of all, you're extremely foolish because who do you think is going to go to war to fight? Definitely not me. And the thing about being a feminist is not saying that you can't fight as a woman. It just means equal opportunity. It just means equal opportunity. Please, Google is free. Google what feminism is all about. First of all, it does not mean hating men. It doesn't mean that you don't need men. It does not mean that if a man opens the door for you, you are less than. It does not mean if a man is trying to explain something to you that you truly do not understand, it means mansplaining. Please, I'm tired of all this woke culture. Please Odogu, please. Let's be 100% honest. That's not what feminism is. Just equal opportunity. If a man has this opportunity, it means that I also have the opportunity. It does not mean I have to go forward and do it. If a man can actually go out and earn a living, me as a woman too, I also have the same opportunity. I should not be discriminated against because I'm a woman, I don't have capacity, the mental strength to also work. That's just really what feminism is all about. It's not hating men. I need men. I need a man. Please. I need a man. Please. I can't, especially with the whole femininity movement and whatnot. I guess I get where it's coming from. But at the same time, there are always extremists who think that feminism just means you should just sit down and cross your arms. You should not do anything. Please. There's a time and place for everything. If you are in a position where you have to put out your masculine energy to achieve a particular task, please do it. Also, when I'm getting overstimulated, let me calm down. In every single human being in this world, everybody has feminine energy and masculine energy. In most women, majority of us, we have more feminine energy than masculine energy. And in men as well, they have more masculine energy than female energy most of the time. However, I said there are singularities to every situation where a woman in some cases has more masculine energy, which I feel like is very common for firstborn, because they are thought firstborn females, because they are thought to kind of be a leader and whatnot. However, in cases where, for example, a woman at work, you cannot be feminine, because you know what feminine is. You know what's being feminine. You can't be feminine at work. Please, you have to bring out the man. That does not mean that you can't accept help when it's presented to you. But really and truly, when it comes down to it, you have, as a woman, you have to know when to bring out your masculine energy and when to bring out your feminine energy. Life is all about balance. I think I've said this before. Life is all about balance. So not every situation requires your feminine energy. Not every situation requires your masculine energy, which is something I feel like, especially in this African household, you've been taught a certain way, but as you grow older, you kind of unlearn and relearn certain things. back to what I was saying, feminism. It's not about hating men, and it's not about body positivity, but then you now decide to put yourself out in a certain light, and then when you receive the actions, the reaction you put out, you are now upset and saying, oh, it's my body, I'll do whatever I want. Please, please, let's let's be honest, let's really back to reality. It's not that you're now putting yourself in a certain light and saying that, oh, because you're a feminist, you now engage in certain activities, and when the reaction to that activity is now put back on you, you're now trying to hide, basically. And also, another very important point, feminism is not about believing women without facts. Please. For example, I'm going to take you back to the whole hip hop culture, because I listen to Hollywood news and whatnot, and there's this current case between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. And when the whole issue came out, obviously everybody ran towards Blake Lively's side, and because there was a thing of sexual assault and whatnot, everybody ran to Blake Lively's side without actually hearing the facts, which I think is another downside of the Me Too movement. We'll leave that to one have opinions, but let's just leave that. But when Justin Baldoni now can bring, he didn't even say anything. Was his lawyer decided to like bring out proof, and what he didn't even say anything for the longest time. He just quietly just started bringing out proof, and then he filed a lawsuit against them and whatnot. And the fact that even after the evidence was brought from both from Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, and some people, after seeing evidence straight up, still decided to go for Blake Lively, still decided to support Blake Lively because, quote unquote, women supporting women. Are you bloody insane? I think that's one of the downside of modern day feminism. People not believing facts, instead believing an ideal. So please, in the feminism movement, please let's go back. Let's really back to the basics. Let's go back to what really feminism is all about. It's not hating and it's not believing all women just because. Please, let's look at the fact. I've seen in real life where a accused of sexual assault and the lady was crying wolf. Meanwhile, it was the other way around. So please, let's believe facts. Let's not jump into conclusion. I know we're all trying to stand for women and be women supporting women, but please, let's go back to the basics and actually look at facts. So guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But anyways, let me know if I press a couple of buttons with what I've said in this video. Let me know if you agree with some of the things I've said. If it's something you're already thinking about and you were not sure, let me know in the comments. And if like my hair, I have a video about this linked up. I'll leave it, I think it's here. I'll leave it linked up and also in the description box as well. And also, again, these are just my own opinions, a little bit of what my group chat is about. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button as well. Let me know in the comments if you ended up enjoying this video. And yes, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
Too out there, baby, you can give it something.